Boston, March 18th, 1990. 1:24 a.m. The city slept under a blanket of silence. Only the wind whispered against old window frames. In the distance, a siren cried, faint, lost in the night. But here, at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, everything was unnervingly calm. Two men stood at the side entrance. Their uniforms looked official. Their badges gleamed faintly in the moonlight. One was tall, with a commanding tone. The other short, but confident and deliberate. They knocked. "Boston Police, we've received a report. We need to come inside." The security guard hesitated for a second. He wasn't sure what was happening, but who argues with police at 1:30 in the morning? He pressed the buzzer. The door opened. And with that, one of the greatest mysteries in American history began. 81 minutes, a $500 million mystery. For the next 81 minutes, the two men roamed freely through the museum halls. They seemed to know exactly where everything was, every gallery, every corridor, every blind spot. It was as if they had rehearsed this before. They removed 13 artworks, including Rembrandt, The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, Vermeer's The Concert, Degas' sketches, Manet's Chez Tortoni, altogether worth over $500 million. Yet no alarm was triggered. No emergency call was made. The guards were found bound and gagged in the basement, their radios ripped from their belts. The policemen had vanished, along with some of the most priceless art ever created. The investigation begins. When the real police arrived at 8 a.m., they were met with a haunting sight. Empty frames hung crookedly on the walls, their paintings ripped out of them. The Gardner Museum heist instantly became the largest art theft in U.S. history. The FBI, Interpol, and countless detectives launched a massive investigation. But there were no fingerprints, no footage, no trace. The security system had mysteriously gone offline during the night. Nobody could explain how or why. And strangest of all, the thieves had skipped dozens of valuable works, choosing only very specific ones. They weren't ordinary burglars. They were professionals, possibly working for someone powerful. The inside job theory. Over the years, investigators began to believe the theft could only have happened with inside help. The evidence pointed that way. The alarm system had been manually disabled. The guards willingly opened the door. The thieves knew the museum layout perfectly. That night's security guard, Rick Abath, became a key suspect. He was the one who'd opened the door. When questioned, Rick said simply, "They looked like real cops. I thought I was doing the right thing." He was young, tired, and working a double shift. But detectives found his story too neat, too convenient. Was he naive or complicit? Where are the paintings? As the years passed, rumors multiplied. Some believed the heist was ordered by Boston's organized crime networks. Others thought a private collector had commissioned it, a rich man who wanted to own masterpieces the world could no longer see. One popular theory claimed the paintings were hidden by Boston mob boss James Whitey Bulger. But when Bulger was murdered in prison in 2018, the trail went cold again. Another theory suggested the works had been smuggled to Europe and traded on the black market. Yet no painting ever resurfaced, not one. Today, those same empty frames still hang on the museum's walls. They serve as ghostly reminders of what once was and what still hasn't been found. The suspects and theories. 1. Rick Abath, the night guard. He opened the door, allowed the thieves in, and was later found tied up. But he never benefited, and he still claims innocence to this day. 2. The Boston Mafia. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Boston was crawling with criminal networks. Some investigators believed the theft was part of a wider smuggling operation. Yet every known mafia figure from that era is now dead or in prison. The collector theory. Certain wealthy art enthusiasts are known to buy stolen works, keeping them hidden for private viewing. Experts suggest the Gardner pieces could be in an undisclosed private collection, locked away forever. But after countless searches, raids, and interrogations, no art was ever recovered. The FBI's 30-year pursuit. For over 3 decades, the FBI chased every lead, every whisper. In 2013, the Bureau publicly claimed, "We know who did it." But the names were never revealed. Why? Because agents feared the art might be destroyed if the thieves felt threatened. 12 more years have passed since that statement. Still nothing. No arrests, no paintings, no answers. Today, the museum still offers a $10 million reward for any information leading to the recovery of the stolen works. The money sits untouched, waiting for a truth that may never come. New technology, old mystery. By the 2020s, investigators turned to new methods: AI analysis, DNA tracing, digital reconstruction. But even modern science couldn't solve a crime this perfectly planned. The 1990 surveillance tapes had been erased. The fake police uniforms were never found. And whoever pulled this off had vanished without leaving a trace, not even a fingerprint. 81 minutes of calm precision. No chaos, no panic, just silence and purpose. It was the work of professionals who treated theft like an art form. The 13 Missing Masterpieces. The Concert by Johannes Vermeer. The Storm on the Sea of Galilee by Rembrandt. A Lady and Gentleman in Black by Rembrandt. Chez Tortoni by Manet. 5 Drawings by Edgar Degas. Landscape with an Obelisk by Govart Flinck. A bronze eagle finial from Napoleon's banner. A Chinese bronze beaker, Gu, from the Shang dynasty. Together, these pieces represent the soul of human creativity. Today, their combined value exceeds $600 million, yet they exist only in photographs, memories, and whispers. The legend lives on. Over 30 years later, the Gardner Museum heist remains one of the most puzzling crimes in modern history. Some Bostonians still claim they saw a suspicious van that night, black, unmarked, waiting near the side gate. Others insist the truth will never be known. Inside the museum, the empty frames still hang. Visitors stop before them, silent, awed, and a little haunted. Each one seems to ask, where are they, and who took them? No one knows, but somewhere, perhaps in a dimly lit room behind locked doors, those masterpieces may still exist, untouched, unseen, and waiting. 81 minutes changed art history forever. No one was hurt, no alarms screamed. Just 2 men in fake uniforms moving through the quiet halls of a Boston museum, stealing beauty itself. They didn't just take paintings. They stole time, mystery, and a piece of the world's imagination. And maybe that's why, even after all these years, the Gardner mystery will never be solved.